Hi guys, welcome to another interesting episode of Gist with Esse. Can you see how excited I am? Yes, I'm sure you can see, and a lot of people have caught on the attention because I can see that you guys are already online. So you know how we do what we do. Share if you're watching us on Facebook, please share on your page so that your friends and family can join us live for this very interesting gist today. Yeah, and if you're watching us on YouTube, thank you. Have you subscribed yet? If you haven't, please click the subscribe button before the show is over. And remember to like and comment as well. Okay, show support and some love for your girl. I would really appreciate it. Now, why am I so excited today? Because of our guest. He's someone very dear to me. Okay, and see the excitement on my face. I feel privileged that he agreed to come on the show. He's not an easy man to catch. Trust me. It takes a lot. I've been on his case for a long time, but finally he's here. So without wasting too much time, remember that if you want to call to talk to our guest, the number to call is +447466951641. I'll take that again, +447466951641 on WhatsApp. Okay, if you want to talk to our guest. Our guest today is no other than Reverend Sayo Solomon Akintola. He's the resident pastor of the New Covenant Church Woolwich, London. He is the coordinator of the New Covenant churches in Europe, all New Covenant churches in Europe. He has written several books. One is titled Stones Rescued from Shame, Even the Birds Will Pay, and the just launched Avoid Being Fully Foolish. That's a very interesting title for a book, and he's going to tell us all about it, what he was thinking when he came up with the title and all that. Yeah, so get all your questions ready for him. And before I bring him on, I'd like to let you know he's not your normal average pastor. Okay, so I don't want you sitting at the edge of your seat. No. He's going to don't worry, let me not say too much about him. I'll bring him on shortly. But before I bring him on, some more suspense. I'm happy to announce to you guys that your girl, Esse is going to be featuring in a stage production next month, August, from the 12th to the 14th. 3 days production. I'm using this opportunity to invite you guys to that production. It will be great to have you guys on. And let me just give you a brief intro to the stage play.
He parted the sea. He made the heavens and the earth. He gave me the breath that I breathe. Oh, he will make a way. Jesus, you love me. Oh, shalala, gagaleme. Jesus, you love me. You love me. You love me. Jesus, you love me.
Okay, guys, did you see your girl? Yeah, so I'm inviting you guys in Edmonton. If you're in London area, please make sure you are at the venue live. I'd like to see you guys. And if you're not in London, you can join us on YouTube. All the details are on the flyer. And before the show, before the day, you will see it on my Instagram and Facebook pages. Okay, so remember, if you're not following me on Instagram, please do so. Is at Esse. Okay, so let's bring in our guest for today, Pastor Sayo Akintola.
Thank you.
Good evening, sir.
Wow.
Welcome to Gist with Esse.
You are now getting it, because when you started with those Reverend thing, I'm getting a worried. This Reverend, this title, coordinator, and everything. I took a bit so confusing. But I think you are coming closer when you say Pastor Sayo. Very soon you will say Brother Sayo, which is what I. So let's go.
Yeah, so that's the thing about Pastor Shayo. You see, we all call him Pastor Shayo, but he's actually a reverend. He's
This
not so keen on the title. So we're used to calling him Pastor Shayo. I call him daddy sometimes. Okay. And not because he's my pastor. I call him daddy because that's what he's been to me in the UK. Since I relocated to the UK, he's been my father figure. So when I say daddy, it's not because I'm a member of his church, it's because he's a father figure to me. Yeah.
okay, make my head bigger. Make it big.
Okay, Pastor Shayo. So let's get our audience to relax around you a bit. Can you start by telling us a short story about yourself? I would prefer the story that I have tagged Pastor Shayo and the fridge. Well, believe it or not, in my house it's a thing. Okay, so if somebody is doing something, we'll be like, don't go and turn to Pastor Shayo and the fridge, oh. So please tell us that story.
There are so many stories, though, but if that's the one you want about the fridge, that was when I first relocated to United Kingdom myself. And when I was coming from Nigeria, I was like a king in Nigeria. Getting to Kingdom, I discovered I was nothing. I had to start all over again.
Mm.
First house we lived here, no chair to sit, no bed to sleep on. We were
Wow.
just mattress. And we had no fridge. And so one day in the evening, one day we were just going out. I think it was around 9 o'clock in the night. And I saw one of my neighbors push out their fridge. This fridge looked so nice. And I knew when they pushed that fridge out, that means that they don't want the fridge anymore. So I said, don't worry, God has just blessed us with a fridge. And so but I didn't, I made sure that everybody has gone to bed when I went to roll the fridge into my house. So without me plugging the fridge to be sure that the fridge was in good working condition, the fridge was so dirty. 3 4 hours I was cleaning the fridge and making it ready. And after I finished cleaning the fridge, I think it was about 3 a.m. in the morning. And I said to my wife, let me just try if this fridge will work. Then I plug it in. It was not working. So I told my wife, no, it will take some time. So I waited till 4 a.m. 5 a.m. it was not working. 6 a.m. it was not working. So I said, okay. So I now discovered that the reason why they actually took that fridge out was because it was faulty. So I now said to my wife, I said, after doing all this work, what am I going to do with this fridge? So I decided, okay, the fridge will go back to where it came from. So I waited till it was late again in the night, rolled the fridge after washing it to where I picked it up. Surprisingly, the next day when I was passing where the fridge was kept, then I saw a note on the fridge. And the person that owned the fridge originally now wrote a note and said, thank you for returning this fridge, but I wish you can just as well keep it. Thank you for washing it. We want to get rid of it. Maybe you should help us get rid of it. I was so angry with myself. So many stories. But if that's what you want, fine. But like you said, I should say about myself, I'm a very simple person. I love to be very simple. I love to be myself. Like you have noticed, I don't like too many attentions. I just want to be as simple as I can be. That's just the beauty of my life. If
Wow,
that,
that's great. That's great. Okay, let's take a look at your journey to becoming a minister of the gospel. How did it all start for you?
wow, that was a very interesting question. I gave my life to Christ at the age of 17. I
Wow.
was at that point. I don't even know what it means to be saved, but I knew that I met the Lord at the age of 17. And then I started my journey as a Christian at that time. The only thing I remember was that I just loved to serve God. And I didn't even know how to calling. I didn't know what it means to be called of God and all that. But what I used to do was I used to do everything that we are asked to do. In fact, for your information, I joined the choir, which many
Oh,
people,
wow.
I joined the choir, and that choir leader, may God forgive him, because I'll go for choir practice, do all the others. And when it is Sunday morning, when we are all prepared to go and sing, I just don't that the choir leader will just tell me, Brother Shah, you are not ministering today. And it happened like that regularly until one day he had the courage to tell me, you are not calling to singing ministry. Your voice is. I said, but what have you been wasting my time all this while? But that's why I started. And so when I got to the university, I became a president of my fellowship. And for 3 years, I was the president. Nobody was contesting the position with me. I really wanted to leave, but I couldn't. So, and it was in the university that I started evangelizing, and I gathered 2 or 3 people together who got saved. And that is how I started. Before I knew it, I never knew I was getting closer and closer to my destiny. And that is just the story. That's how I got started. It wasn't any scary vision or angel appearing or disappearing. No, it was just as simple as I just believe that it was so easy for me to just get into it because I love to serve God. That's the most important thing about it all.
So you were just a regular teenager who found
Yeah.
Christ, in your teenage years. No funny stories to maybe you were in a bad gang or in a cult or whatever. You were just a regular guy who
I was
found Christ.
I wasn't regular, because if you say regular, then I wasn't regular. Very,
Okay.
because I remember. So okay, let me give you one story. I remember when I was it Form 4 in secondary school. One day I entered the I think it was the library. Everybody was quiet. And as I entered the library, I saw one lady. She didn't do anything to me. She was just sitting on her own, minding her own business. And I was sucking orange. For people who grew up in Nigeria, we know what it means to suck orange.
Mm-hmm.
One of my friends said to me, said, "You can't even splash that orange on the face of that girl." And I said, "You do mean it?" Before I said Jack, the orange was flying towards the face of the girl.
Wow.
Whash! I smashed her face. Became an issue. Took me to the principal and everybody, blah, 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 blah. But you know what? After I became born again and I was preaching everywhere, some of my friends now organized a meeting, which I was supposed to preach there. And they
Mm-hmm.
have told everybody that this guy that is coming is mightily used of God, is a great minister, and all that and all that. And they invited everybody. And unfortunately for me, they invited this girl that smashed orange on her face.
Oh
Well,
Lord.
Christian. So she was there waiting for the minister. And as I walked in, I noticed that she saw me and she said, "Who is the minister you say is coming to preach?" They said, "That is the minister." I saw her. She just packed her bag. She was about to leave. So I went to her. I said, "Sorry, I know you should leave by now because you shouldn't expect somebody like me to be called a minister. But unfortunately, I found Jesus." And she was looking at me, "You found Jesus?" And I said, "Yes." And she said, "Okay, you know what? I don't believe you." And I said, "I don't think you should believe me, but it's okay." So I said, "Just give me the opportunity to just preach. And after I finish preaching, you can now make up your mind on what to do." So all the while I was preaching, she was sitting with so much tension, wanting to go. But funny enough, at the end of my message, she looked at me and said, "Wow, God can do anything. Now I believe God can save anybody." So when you say regular, I don't think I am regular. I am actually irregular, if that's the word I can use.
Yeah, there's a reason I actually asked that question. I'm going to come to it in a bit. Yes, but everyone who's joining us, thank you. I can see you guys. Tracy, I know them, Adetola, Akintola, Wumi, Keda, Ace in your face. Thank you guys for joining us. And please keep inviting your friends, keep sharing so other people can join us as well. And for those of you who are silently watching us, can you please just drop a message, a comment, say hi to Pastor Shayo. Okay, don't say hi to me. I know you don't want to say hi to me. Say hi to Pastor Shayo, please. Okay, or Reverend Shayo. He's a reverend, though. Don't follow me. He's a reverend. Yeah, it's nice to have you guys. So we're talking today about his book, Avoid Being Fully Foolish. That's a very interesting title for your book. First, sir, can you tell us the inspiration behind that and why you came up with that title?
Okay. Honestly, you will discover that no amount of wisdom that you may possess you can't be wise in every area of your life. So we are foolish, with all due respect, in so many areas of life. But then you don't want to be fully foolish. You don't want to now take that foolishness to the next level. So
Okay.
I discovered that even as a minister, I can't say I'm perfect in every area of my life. So I'm foolish in some certain aspect of life. So I now decided, okay, how can I avoid going from being foolish to becoming fully foolish?
Fully foolish. Okay.
to that topic.
Okay, before we continue, I'm noticing that some people are trying to join us in the studio. The studio is for just Pastor Shaya and I today. Okay, please, can you guys join us? Everyone in the studio, I can see you guys, at the back of the studio, and I know you can hear me. Can you please join us on YouTube? The link has been posted live on Facebook and on WhatsApp statuses and groups and all that. Please join us on YouTube, not on this link that you're joining us with. This is the StreamYard link. I need you guys to use the YouTube link. Thank you guys. I appreciate you. Yeah, so Beulah Eyo and all the way from the United States says, hi, Reverend Sayo.
Thank you. I just want you to know that we should not become where you don't want to be fully foolish. You don't want to take that foolishness to the next level, if that makes any sense. Thank you.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. So I'm going to ask you now, how can you tell if someone is a fool? Because sometimes, even like you said, we're all not perfect, yeah? So sometimes even people that are supposedly wise do foolish things. Like King David concerning Bathsheba. In the book that, in your book, there's the part of your book that talks about King David, Bathsheba, and Uriah. And the focus was mainly on Uriah. But I just noticed that, okay, what David actually did was a foolish thing. So how can you differentiate? If I were to meet David, on that note, how would I know that this man is a wise man who did a foolish thing and he's not a foolish man?
Okay, thank you. Somebody, my publisher, when he finished reading my book, the man who said to me, said, Brother Shayo, do you know that I don't want to say this openly, but if you will not be offended, I will say you are also foolish, but teaching us not to be foolish. Something. It is, you can talk about David, you can talk about anybody. The reason why we talk about David is because it's the only one is written down. If you look into your own lives too, there are many foolish things you have done. Just because you are not on the limelight, you are not in the limelight does not mean that you are perfect in everything you have done. So I want to say the best of a man is still a man, no matter how you look at it. And if you look into that book, I know most times when we read the story of David, Uriah, and Bathsheba, we always blame David all of the time. But you will discover that I tried to put things straight, that Uriah was very, very stupid. That's why, in fact, I call him the national fool, because if you read into the book, you will understand why he was so foolish. Many times we always look at him as being a gallant soldier and all that, but he's done so many decisions looking back. So it's not about David alone. When foolishness meets foolishness, it gives back to being fully foolish. That's what I would say about that story, if that answers your question.
Yes, it does answer my question. And I have read the book, and I must say I'm impressed, because I have never read that Bible passage or Bible story, if I can say that, and looked at Uriah like that. And that makes me realize that, there's something that people always say about loyalty, okay? Loyalty is overrated, in the sense that if you look at Uriah, he was trying to be loyal to the king. He refused to go and do a feast in his house, but when the king invited him to the feast, he actually did it. So that's loyalty that, can be questioned. That's foolish loyalty, if I can say that. Yeah. So apart from whatever issues he had that he was running away from at home, he was trying to portray that he was a loyal servant to the king. Yeah. So interesting. That was the best part of the book for me, because I saw Uriah in a very different light. Before now, I'd be looking at him like, oh, what's, I used to be pained, like, why did King David do something like this to someone so loyal to him? But now I see it from a different light.
Yes.
Before we continue, let me just put it up there. This is the book we're talking about. It's called Avoid Being Fully Foolish, and it was just launched last week, Sunday.
Thank you.
Yeah, and it is selling very, very fast. So you guys need to go and grab your copies. And also, I would like you guys to follow Pastor Sayo on Instagram at Pastor Sayo Akintola. You can see it up on the screen. And on Facebook at Olushayo Solomon Akintola. He's got a lot of content that he's going to be sharing with you guys, and you'll be blessed by them. So please follow him on Instagram at Pastor Sayo Akintola and Reverend and Olushayo Solomon Akintola on Facebook. He's not going to change the title. For those of you who are wondering why he's Pastor Sayo Akintola in on Facebook and not Reverend Sayo, he's not going to change it. So don't worry about it.
In fact, who told you I'm Solomon? Why did you come up with that name?
Excuse me. Excuse me.
That's the thing. I wonder when people say Solomon, I say, why? Anyway, I forgive you.
But Solomon is your name. And I am your uncontested first daughter, so I should know my father's name, please.
Okay, all right, but it's supposed to be a family issue, not everybody calling me.
Excuse me, so are you saying I'm not family now?
No, what I mean is that we should have, I think we should have kept it between us, not
Oh, okay.
Everybody in church tomorrow call me Solomon. You see what? Let's go.
Okay, let's take some
break.
No, not a break. Let's just take some comments. Tommy and Adam says, oh, the publisher. Okay, so your story about the publisher saying that his comment about the book when he read it. And Beulah says foolishness meets foolishness. So that's in the case of King David and Uriah. And she also says loyalty can't be foolish. Avoid being fully foolish. Yeah, okay, so back to the book. I find the book really interesting. Yeah, and in talking about the types of fools that you mentioned in the book's introduction,
okay,
would you say that this book is really interesting, guys? From the introduction, you are captivated. Trust me, okay? I'm not just saying this because he's my dad. I'm saying it because I've read the book. And if you know me very well, you know that if I didn't think it was a good book, I won't brag about it. Talking about the types of food, yeah, you mentioned in the introduction here.
Yes.
Can you say that most teenagers fall under the category of sensual fools? And the reason why I ask is because most teenagers exhibit some of the traits of a sensual fool that you mentioned in the book, like focusing on things that bring them immediate pleasure. And even Proverbs 10:23 says that foolish people see mischief as a sport, and we know that a lot of teenagers are mischievous in nature. Look at the story that you told about the orange that what you did with the orange, splashing the orange on the lady's face. And then, if I may, I also have a similar story. I remember that when I was in secondary school, my friends and I, one of them is here on the show right now. We were in school, and I think what happened, they were sending people home for non-payment of school fees. She had paid and I had paid, but they had sent all our friends home in her. So we were like, okay, so what are we going to be doing? All our friends are going home because they haven't paid. So we decided to leave school, not to go home, but to go with one of our friends that was sent home. Now, it would have been okay, we would have gotten away with it, right? Unfortunately for us, her younger sisters, who were also in the school with us, got sent home and they had paid their school fees. And then when Wahalana wanted to strike, that day, Momsi decided to be home early for work, her mom. So you can imagine she's sitting at home, and then her children are coming back from school. Out of 3 of her children are coming back to say, they sent us home for not paying school fees. We tried to explain to them, but they wouldn't listen and all that. And she's like, okay, so where's your older sister? Because you're all in the school. Why wasn't she sent home? We don't know where she is. Tracy, if you're here, I hope you remember that story. And so the mom was really angry that your sister should be able to have, to have cleared this situation with them in school. And so the mom now drives back to school to sort it out. And then first she was already angry with Tracy, right? That, you allowed your sisters to come home. And then she gets to school, and lo and behold, Tracy is nowhere to be found. She's fuming, And she's like, okay, if Tracy's not around, please, where is her best friend, Esse? Esse is nowhere to be found.
Gods of the same.
So naturally she thinks, okay, maybe they went home to Esse's house. Nothing like that. She took, so she got my address and then she asked, and then one of our friends that was a bad belly friend, she didn't like my relationship with Tracy, so she just told the mom, they went out to the other people that. Now that was a very foolish thing to do on our part, but we're teenagers, and the truth is we didn't go and do anything bad, right? We just went home with another friend, and then we just went to cook rice and eat and dance. We were in a house. But you can imagine the mom's state of mind, like, oh my goodness, where have these kids gone? You get what I'm saying? So a lot of teenagers are mischievous like that, even when what they're doing is not really bad, but it's mischievous. Yes. So would you say that a lot of teenagers can be classified under sensual fools?
I will say that, but I will tell you something that I want you to understand. It's still part of. You see, if you have never failed before, you will never appreciate success. So, I mean, I'm able to write on being foolish because I discover I've been so foolish in so many aspects of my life. One of the stories in the book that was very captivating for me that I wrote the book was the story that I told and I wrote. I don't know which of the chapters this story was. When I told my father when I was young. So when I was very young and I told my father I was going to fast. You remember that?
I remember that story.
I told my father I was going to, and my father knew I can't stay away from food for the whole day, but it discouraged me. So he said, it's okay, go ahead and fast. So, and around 10, 11, 12, it was as if the old clock stopped moving. So I said to myself, I'm in trouble. I can't fast. And I can't tell my father that I cannot fast because I've already made mouth that I was going to fast. So you know what I did? Go and read it in the book. Climbed on the chair in my father's sitting room, turned the clock in my father's sitting room to 6:30 in the evening. Daddy, it's 6:30. And my father said, oh yes, 6:30. He knew that it was not 6:30, but it wasn't going to. So, I mean, foolishness is part of life. But the problem is when you, and I think it's in the book also, when you do something for the first time, it may be called a mistake. But when you keep repeating the mistake over and over again, it becomes a pattern. So the book is actually it's not to keep you away from being foolish, but it's for you to learn from your foolishness. Even the youth people, young people are talking about, I really want them to experience life in different dimensions. So I wouldn't pull them down for being mischievous. Now you are saying your own story. If you have never done that, you won't have something to say. So every situation we go through, we learn from it. That's just my own take about that sensual fool.
Okay, so thank you very much. Thank you very much, sir, for that. For those of you just joining us, you're tuned into Gist with Esse, and our guest is Reverend Sayo Akintola.
Will you please drop this Reverend Sayo? Drop it.
No, you're Reverend. You're Reverend. It's good. Let people know who you really are. Okay, so you can see in his name title, he just put Sayo Akintola. He didn't even put pastor. He didn't even put Akintola. And I must tell you that one of the things that I love about him is his humility. Pastor Sayo is one of the most humble human beings that I've ever met in my life. You look surprised.
Excuse me. Are you talking about this man or somebody
else?
Yes,
I'm talking about you.
Okay.
I'm talking about you. And I'm one of the people, those who know me very well know that I can be a bit troublesome. And I'm one of the very few people who actually get away with looking for Pastor Sayo's trouble. I can look for his trouble. No. Me, I know that one. Yeah.
Very true.
Yes. So if you're not humble, you won't let me get away with things like that. Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Now
I've been through pastors. I've been to different churches in my lifetime, so I know what I'm talking about here. Pastor Sayo will tell you he is sorry if you tell him, Pastor, you offended me like this. For you to even, be able to be comfortable enough to tell your pastor that you are angry with him, that should say something about the kind of pastor that he is. Yeah. So
now I'm humble. I know I'm humble now. Yes, thank you for telling me. Now I know.
So if you don't know how to look for his trouble, just come to me. Don't worry, I'll look for his trouble for you. Okay, so moving on. Those of you just joining us, thank you. And I can get some private chats. I'm seeing the private chat. It would be nice for you guys to join us on YouTube. We appreciate you guys. Before we continue, let me play the intro on my stage play coming up in August for those people who joined after I had played it the first time.
He who parted the sea, he who made the heavens and the earth, he who gave me the breath that I breathe. Oh, he will make a way. Listen, Jesus, you love me. Oh, shalala, gekeleme. Jesus, you love me. You love me.
Okay, guys, please come support your girl, Esse. I'm on stage from the 12th to the 14th of August this year. Okay, so let's take some comments before we go on. Tracy Akwajoto says, where can we get the book? Okay, we'll be going into that in a minute. And Tommy Anoidem says, please, where can we buy this book? It will be a foolish thing if I don't buy it though. He's trying to avoid being fully foolish. Okay, so to get the book, let me answer that before we go on. You can get the book on you can pay to Pastor Sayo's account on PayPal at pastorshayoministries@gmail.com. And you can also get it on www.mbeloved.com. And then you can also pay directly to his account. Okay, so whatever works for you, let me know, and then I'll send all the necessary details to you personally. Okay, so yeah, let's go ahead.
Maybe the reason why the book will soon be on Amazon, but I don't want to be on Amazon now. It's part of foolish, because this is not my first book. All the other 3 books I've done before, I sell through Amazon and all that. And sometimes, believe me, you must learn from your past mistakes. So it will soon be on. But thank you for anybody that is buying the book can just follow what you just said now. Just put your address. Promise you, I will be at the postage and we'll send it straight to your door.
Oh, even if they live outside the UK?
Yes.
Okay.
I sent some to Ireland this morning. So, and it's, yes, we will do that.
Okay, so Canada fam, have you heard? You can send directly to you. US, Beulah, you can get it in the US as well. So it will be sent directly to you. Now, Pastor Sayo, can you share with us some mistakes that you've made in the past that looking back now you realize was disregard to authority, still in light of, the avoiding, trying to be fully foolish?
My dear, you can't write on foolishness when you have not experienced it before. So I have a lot of stories. One of the stories that is even in the book was when we went, but I didn't mention America here. We went to America on holiday, and here we are at the shopping mall, just window shopping and meeting these fantastic, well-dressed American guys who invited us for a breakfast in the next day. And they gave us, I remember they gave us a gift of $100 or so, even before attending the presentation. And we were so excited. So we went for the presentation, and it was about timeshare. Anybody that is familiar with that, we know what I'm talking about. And it was a very powerful presentation. And when they asked us to commit, you have to commit on the spot. You can't go home to go and think about it. Then they will tell you of all the good things and great things about it, but without telling you any of the mistakes. And truth be told, I signed up. It was a bad decision for me.
Wow.
Affected my finances and all that and all that. And then since that time, I've made up my mind that I will never take a decision when I don't have the ability to think through the decision. Because sometimes you just take decision about the spur of the moment and then you get into trouble. That I will
True.
never do. And over, that mistake has always helped me, because that's what I say to you. You turn your stumbling stone to stepping grants. That's what I've done. So that's what you use foolishness to achieve. Turn it around and it will take you to another level. Thank you.
Okay, yeah, I remember that story. Sir, please, the next story you're going to share, yeah, don't let it be from the book. Let them go and buy the book.
Okay.
Now, before we continue, there's something I'd like to say about the book. I have, when I read a book, I take down notes. I like to jot. So I have the summary. Look at the summary of your whole book here. From
Wow.
chapter 1 to, yeah. So that's how I read. So what I would like to say to the viewers is this: you need to buy this book, but when you buy the book, before you open the first page, I need you to have an open mind.
Mm.
Okay, so there are a lot of lessons to learn from the book. I learned a lot of lessons from the book because I was talking about loyalty earlier. Okay, and that's one of the things that the book opened my eyes to realizing that loyalty is relative. So
Mm.
loyalty in one situation can be different, in another situation, or loyalty to one person can your loyalty to one person can be different, to your loyalty to another person. And why do I say this? I've been loyal to a friend in the past, and it cost me a job that would have transformed my life.
Wow.
I chose loyalty to that person over that job. And
Mm.
guess what, guys? Years down the line, I realized my friend and I fell out. So that relationship, that friendship is done.
Mm.
But you see what I lost?
Mm.
You see what I mean? If I had just taken that job, maybe our friendship would have been on hold, would have been able to fix it somewhere along the line, and all that. But it's like at the end of the day, I lost out both ways. So have an open mind when you're reading the book, because the book is going to teach you a lot of things. And like he said, if you think that you're all wise and all knowing, then you must be God,
Mm.
right? So the book is going to open your eyes to see areas where you may have been foolish in the past. And like he said, you turn it into what? Stepping stones. So you don't beat yourself down because of the mistakes that you've made or the things that you've done, the foolish things that you've done. Because on a daily basis, we're human. We do stupid things, we do foolish things, we say foolish things, and we regret them later. The book will help you, to just realize the areas of your life where you need
Improve.
to improve. Yeah, that's the word. So please buy the book with an open mind that you're going to learn a lot from it, and you're going to be able to improve your life when you've bought the book. Tommy Anoidem says, how much is the book? So yes, I realize we haven't spoken about that.
Actually, is I think is on M Beloved is 9 pounds 99 pence. I'll just simply say £10 to get.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so Canada, you can convert that to £10 to Canadian dollars,
Mm.
and for Beulah, you can convert that to US dollars. I don't know how much that is. I'm sure someone is going to put up the US price and
If
the Nigerian price as well. So they can find it in Nigeria, yeah?
yes, if they are buying from Canada, just send me your or the US, just send me your name and I'll give you my bank details in Canada, so you don't need to actually convert it to
Oh, great.
sterling. I do, and then it's possible to pay using PayPal, which is a very universal way of paying for anything.
Yeah,
And
making payments, yes.
tell me how many copies you want. Somebody just bought about 10 copies from Canada, just about.
Wow.
Yes, somebody bought about 10 copies also from Ireland today. It's really going. It's really doing very, very well.
Okay, so buy and make sure you buy for some. In fact, it's a very good idea. If you see that there's someone that is you feel needs to read this book, just buy it as a gift for them. It's not every time you buy chocolate and buy jewelry or something as a gift to someone. Sometimes a book that can transform their lives is more important than all the jewelry in the world that they can wear. Yeah. So yeah, moving on. Let's now talk about some nuggets, wisdom nuggets that have helped shape your life so far. So from whatever your lessons that you've learned from some of the foolish things that you've done in the past, what are the wisdom nuggets that you've gotten from there that has shaped your life so far?
The greatest principle of my life, which I've always lived for, is that life is for the giving. Life is giving. That is why when people say, "Oh, you've done this for me, you've done that for me," what is life if you are not giving? Life is for the giving. To live is to give, and to give for me is to live. And that's one of the things I've learned about is before it was I think it was 3D or whatever. Now we are in television keep changing, but it's that puts you on the television. So and then also this is for young people. When you say you want a life partner, the first thing you must first ask yourself is, do you have a life? If you don't,
Okay.
you are looking for a life partner, you'll be confused, and you will confuse anybody that you are trying to engage with in life. Or the other way to put it is, if you want to, somebody said, if you want to be my, is it future partner? Do you have a
Yeah.
You must have a future before you look for a partner. So these are the nuggets that shape my life. But the most important one for me is that to live is to give, and to give is to live. Life for the giving is for giving. That's my nugget. That is the motto that guides me. And
That's an interesting motto.
just before I go, from where I come from, I discovered that God can make something out of nothing, because I was nothing and I was not destined to be anything in life. In fact, when I've written 4 books now, if you say I can even write 1 book in my life, I will say it's not possible. But see how God has helped me. So those are the things that I really like to share with all of you this afternoon.
Thank you, sir. I'm going to let you go in a bit. I know you're a busy man. Sir, tell us what you do for fun. And please don't say gym.
No,
not gym.
No, PlayStation. Don't tell anybody this. Don't Even before I came on the show, I was playing PlayStation with my son. Don't tell anybody that.
Oh my goodness. PlayStation. Okay. I'll take that one. Nice one, Pastor Shaya. Thank you so much. It's been a blessing to us on the show. I'm sure everyone has been blessed. Yeah, so I'm going to let you go now. Just give us one last word, one last message.
You see, pray for me. That's just my desire. Already, as I finish writing this book, another book is coming into my heart. And I can tell you the title. Turn My Zero. That is the next book I'm working on. Just pray for me for inspiration.
I'm confused. You just said you can't tell me the title.
No, I said tell you the title.
Oh, okay.
The title is Turn My Zero. Turn My Zero.
Turn My Zero.
Yes.
Oh, and Temitope just said we'll keep that a secret, Pastor Sayo. Well, the secret is out of the bag.
Oh, thank you. So thank you for having me on the show. I wish you well. I pray that this show will grow from strength to strength. And
Amen.
the Lord will power and encourage all of you, and all of you that have taken time to join me this afternoon. I really want to appreciate you. Thank you. God bless you.
Thank you so much, sir. God bless you, sir, for joining us. Everyone, don't forget to follow Pastor Sayo on Instagram at Pastor Sayo Akintola, and on Facebook at Sayo Solomon Akintola. Yes, Sayo Solomon Akintola. And make sure you buy the book. So I'm expecting messages coming in saying, okay, I'm ready to buy the book, send me the details and all that. And we're going to have this book sold. We need to sell this one quickly so that the next one can have space to breathe.
Thank you.
If you know, you know. Thank you, sir. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. Until next time on Gist with Esse, remember, stay positive, stay happy, stay mended. Bye, guys.